Hey everybody, welcome back to the Centaur Fragrance channel. Thank you so much for stopping by today. We're going to be talking about Tom Ford's Pour Homme or For Him Extreme. This is from their more regular line of fragrances. Fragrances like Black Orchid, Ombre Leather, and some of the fragrances that, they're a little bit more affordable. These aren't the exclusives or the private line of Tom Ford, but this one actually is sadly discontinued. I was doing research for my video before I started this, and I discovered that this one is almost extinct. There's almost no bottles available for sale online. There's very little presence, and almost nobody talked about this fragrance, for the most part, even when this fragrance was out. So I'm very sad to say that I'm doing a review of a discontinued fragrance. I'm not trying to brag, but I am very happy that I have this in my collection. It might go one day if somebody offers me an exorbitant amount of money for it, but I really do like this fragrance and I don't see myself parting from it anytime soon. This is a gorgeous fragrance. I gotta tell y'all all about it. This fragrance is special to me. It's a dark fig fragrance. I'm gonna smell some here. It has a little bit of that figginess. It's not the fig doesn't really jump out to me in this fragrance. It's not really a big note. It's there. It's dark, but it's not overtly juicy. It's not overtly sweet. It's more a little bit of like a dried fig to my nose, but it's very nice, and the little bit of sweetness and the opening is very much appreciated. As the fragrance dries down, you're going to notice that there's, this truffle note. The truffle note steals the show. It's probably one of the big focuses of the fragrance. If you've never smelled truffles, I understand it's a very expensive fungi, like a mushroom. It's very expensive and it's very exclusive. Not many people eat stuff like that or come across stuff like that, like caviar. I don't think I've ever even had real truffles, but I've had some truffle oil before. Like if you cook a little bit of truffle inside oil and get some of that signature taste. This is definitely a dark, earthy, but somewhat still masculine and easier to understand earthy quality. It's very nice. It's very approachable. It's not scary and like niche like, but it does have a unique character about it. To me, it has a really interesting edge about it in this fragrance. It gives me suede, leather-like nuances, and sometimes at times it reminds me of violet. This fragrance does remind me of violet at times, and it sometimes reminds me of Dior Fahrenheit. I have to be honest, I think that this fragrance was inspired, or maybe can slightly remind you of Dior Fahrenheit. I don't think it's a clone. It's kind of like a distant cousin twice removed. It's just, if you are a really big frag head, you might say that this is distantly similar, but it's not the same fragrance by any means. There is some patchouli to this fragrance, a very classy dark patchouli. It doesn't have any of the grime. It doesn't have any of the sharpness or a lot of the boldness that you might expect from a patchouli. This is definitely a seductive Tom Ford patchouli, and it says, "Hey, hey." It's a nice fragrance. I don't know why I said that. I wanted to. The patchouli's there, but it's not gonna, it's not gonna get, put you, knock you out, and it's definitely not going to try to steal the show. It's there, but it's cool and dark and collective. It's kind of on its own. So this fragrance is just gorgeous, though, guys. I do have to say that this was one of my favorite fragrances that I bought a little while ago, about 2 years ago. At the time, you could pick up a bottle if you were lucky for the $80, $90, $100 range for a full-size bottle. Then it started creeping up, and you had to pay about $150. And this fragrance was never, extremely popular to begin with. So this fragrance didn't get crazy expensive on the discounted market, but just about all the inventories disappeared, and that's really sad to see it go. Performance wise, let's talk about that. I get anywhere from 7 to 9 hours out of this fragrance. It doesn't beg for attention, but it is there. It's kind of consistent. This fragrance has really nice nuances, but it does become a little bit well-rounded. It does become a little bit linear in its own way. After the dry down kind of happens in the opening, it becomes a well-rounded nature. It has a really nice texture to it. I kind of like how that's blended, and I kind of like the magic that was pulled off. It's a completely different fragrance with a completely different smell, but to me, the Noir Extreme kind of does a similar thing where, it has an opening and a little bit of a dry down, and then it evolves to a really well-rounded note, and it's a little bit more subdued and a little bit more, seductive. So I really like that Tom Ford kind of blending to this fragrance. Anyways, performance is respectable for sure, 7 to 9 hours. Projection is kind of all right. It's kind of average projection wise for the most part, but the sillage is actually above average. So it's very nice. It's respectable. It's kind of what you want with a classy, upscale, gentlemanly fragrance. Definitely on the seductive side of things. This is special juice in my opinion. It's just gorgeous. It's I don't know. There's something special about it for me. Uh, Compliment factor wise, I never got a lot of compliments from this fragrance. Honestly, if you're really looking for compliments and you want something that's a lot more affordable, you might just be happy with John Varvatos Vintage. It smells distantly similar to this. It's not the same. This is a lot classier. This is a lot better quality. And this stuff. I just like Tom Ford. There's something about Tom Ford's fragrances. I like the dark aspect. I like the seductive nature, and the performance is better with this one. But you're likely never to come across this one, sadly. Anytime soon. This is exclusive juice. Anyways, price wise and compliment factor wise, I think people really thought I was gentlemanly. People think I'm classy. If I dress up, I match this fragrance to my look. I have to be looking really dapper and really dressed up. It is a little bit, I think, of an older gentleman's fragrance, 30, 35 plus, but it is a really nice fragrance. Again, it does remind me distantly of Dior Fahrenheit, if they ever made to make like a Dior Fahrenheit Absolute, if they ever made maybe like a suede or leather version of Dior Fahrenheit and decide to make it a little bit more seductive, it would be something like this in my opinion. This is gorgeous juice, and I don't know of a lot of fragrances that have a black or like a truffle note. So this fragrance, even though it's not a niche I mean, I guess you consider it a niche fragrance. um, you know it is kind of unique for what it is, and I really do like that. There's not a lot of truffle notes on the market, or a lot of fragrances with a truffle note. If I can speak correctly today. Anyways, this is a gorgeous scent. I love it. I'm really kind of sad that this fragrance is gone. It's kind of into obscurity. It's long gone. It's hard to get, but it's a nice juice nonetheless. Anyways, my final thoughts are, if you find this at an estate sale, actually, I bought this one on eBay from an estate sale. Somebody was liquidating all, possessions they had, things they didn't need anymore. Maybe somebody passed away. This bottle is actually quite different. I think I did a review of this a long time ago. The bottles that came out later had a gold ring around around the neck of the fragrance. This is tied, and it also has this little metal badge. It kind of looks like something on Black Orchid, but it's a little bit different. On the bottom, you usually find a number that's punched in, and it's kind of like a higher number. I think I saw like 40s and 60s and such. This just has a number 2, and it's coming out. So I don't know if this is the second production run. I don't know if this is like a promotion bottle, a special tester, or I don't know if this was like a special gift to somebody who used to work at Tom Ford or something. I have no idea what this thing is, and it does smell a little bit better. It's a little bit smoother. I don't know what I have on my hands here. But, I've smelled the real thing, though. My dad used to have a bottle of the original. I think I'm talking too much. I need to close the video. Anyways, if you find this fragrance for the $80 to $90, $100 range, and you're a gentleman and you have the money, if you love things like John Varvatos Vintage, Polo Safari, spicy, almost suede fragrances, and you want something a little bit more interesting, definitely on that classy, seductive side of things, I would definitely pick this one up if you're ever lucky enough to find it for that price. I don't really, compared to other niche fragrances on the market, I don't think that you could really justify paying over 120 or so for this. It's a nice fragrance, no doubt. It's a really good juice, but I just don't think it's worth, paying. I don't know what somebody might charge you, 150, 200, 250 bucks for a bottle like this, and this one's not even sprayed very much. So, I don't know what to say about the value. If you find it, I suggest it, but this is a discontinued gem. Let me know. Do you like me reviewing discontinued fragrances? Is that something you enjoy? Is that something you like? Do you like me exploring the obscure fragrances, the things that are harder to find? Do you want me to talk more about designer fragrances, things that are more mass appealing, things that you can find at your local mall? Let me know what you like, what you think about this fragrance. What do you think about Tom Ford? Do you like truffles? Have you ever smelled a truffle? Have you ever seen a truffle? Do you like how this fragrance sounds? Are you a classy gent, or do you just want something playful? Are you a party guy? Let me know all those things in the comment sections below. And of course, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, share the video, tell a friend. And when you hit notifications, hit all notifications so you don't miss out on my regular videos and my regular content. So I'll see y'all next time, my friends. This is the Scented Fragrance channel. Have a good one. Wear what you love, rock what you got. I'll see you next time, my friends, and bye.